Looks like a Muppet thing.
Now that I know what you look like, that just makes it a hell of a lot funnier.
It does. I've known what he looks like forever. So
Way to carry that note at the end, buddy.
yeah.
Did you catch the vibrato or whatever?
Yes,
how it's
I
called?
did. As a
Yes.
music major,
Yeah.
yes, I did.
All right. Well, welcome all to this impromptu hit or miss. I know we're starting a little later than normal, but it's better late than never, right? Not at all, but
sometimes it's better later.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's better than never.
remember, this is hit or miss. So this might be a miss. It might be hit. You decide. Anyways, I'm gonna introduce my panelists for this evening. I'm gonna go from left to right on my screen. So Foos, what's going on?
Welcome all. Not much. We're going to have a reloading chat. It's going to be on Swaging Sunday. So I'll show you how to swage 22 brass into 223 projectiles.
Ooh, I'll be there for that. I want to see that.
Yep.
Just
So that's
like you
Sunday
did
at
the last
7
two
Central.
times.
7 p.m. Central.
All right, awesome. Check it out. Heavy B, what's going on? Don't you have stuff to promote tonight?
Oh, you mean like Friday Night Sights on Friday?
Hey, yeah. How about that? Yeah, that's this week, right?
That would be this week at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it'd be 9 o'clock Central and 10 o'clock Eastern. Just sit back and relax because I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but I know shit's going to get real. So there you go.
Yeah. And Sean. What's going on?
Just hanging out, man. I heard there was free fish, so I thought I'd come along.
Well, thank you for showing up this time. Smeggy.
Our chat's better than the reloading chat, so we make sure he makes it every Tuesday.
Yeah, no kidding. Smeggy, what's going on? My compatriot.
Oh, not a whole lot, just chilling, hanging out. I want to promote something. It's a show that I do with a couple of other guys on Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock sharp. It always starts exactly at 9 o'clock. It's called Hit or Miss.
Oh, who are these other guys?
Yeah, who are these other
there's
people?
like a weird tinfoil hat dude and I don't know, some other crazy reloading people and
Just
this
a bunch of
Californian
jokers.
dude. Yeah. I don't know, some other weirdo.
I'm a tinfoil reloader, so I guess that works out pretty good.
Don't forget about the crazy jarhead.
And last but certainly not least, Scott Tuhati, what's going on?
Not much, guys. Just hanging out, checking in from the Pacific Northwest.
Congratulations on your showcase today.
Yeah, I was surprised to be the featured member. That was pretty cool to get up and see that.
That's how you know you're up in the big leagues once you get announced on the Daily Show.
Yep, made my day.
Right. All right. So Sean wanted to go tinfoil hat tonight, so we're gonna humor him and roll with it. So Sean, what's this tinfoil hat theory you've got going on?
Okay, so gather round, children, because it's story time, and you're going to love this because this is a timeless classic. Most of us all grew up watching Pinocchio. We know the story. It was about a little wooden puppet boy, and every time he lied, his nose grew. And I have a theory based off of what happened over Labor Day weekend with Hillary Clinton, because they keep telling us that she does not have lung cancer, and she does not have a lung condition or a respiratory infection or none of these things. She's perfectly fine. She has a thyroid condition, and apparently she has very spotty memory because of a, quote, concussion that she suffered dodging sniper fire in a situation that never happened. Whatever. So anyway, so I have this theory, and it's going to please theological, God-fearing people. You see, I have this theory that every time Hillary Clinton goes out in public and starts to talk bullshit, God starts to choke his Hillary Clinton voodoo doll. because you can almost see it. As soon as she starts talking bullshit, she starts coughing and she can't stop. And when she tries to talk through it, it sounds like someone's got their hands around her neck. She's like, "Ugh, we just talked to the vice president here." So, it didn't happen once this weekend. It happened twice. It happened for 3.5 minutes in public in Cleveland after her vice presidential candidate started speaking. He could have bailed her out while she was coughing, but he didn't, because I guess he was just like, fuck it, let this bitch roll. And then afterwards, she finally did an interview on her new private, 737
Email server.
campaign plane or whatever. And she couldn't stop coughing on the plane either.
And
she
please
tried to play it
remember-
off.
And please remember, this is the first time she has answered questions from the
Oh,
media in
God,
9
no.
months.
She hasn't
No?
had a press conference in, I think it's 263 days.
Yeah, that's what I
She
was just saying.
does not do press conferences. All she did was she was in her plane with certain members of the press who were scripted to throw her softballs, and she couldn't even get through that. She just started coughing. Now, to her credit, the one time I will give her credit, boy, did she have a good one in Cleveland. When she started her hacking session, I guess when God started choking his voodoo doll, she was like, every time I think about Trump, I have an allergic reaction. But, that was like her one moment of glory. But then he squeezed harder on the doll because she couldn't talk for another minute and a half. And it's like, I hear this and I see this and I just, I think to myself, I'm like, if you're going to die, just fucking do it already.
I have an alternate theory. It's basically the same theory as yours, except it's Darth Vader.
Hey?
I think Smeggy is a more plausible theory there.
Someone is using the force on her every time she starts to tell a lie.
That's cool too. I'm fine with that. I just somebody is choking a bitch out every time she starts talking bullshit. Every
But then he
single time.
squeezed tighter.
Hannity pulled a montage of every coughing fit she's had since she's run for president, and it's over 16 minutes long. That is not the health condition of a perfectly healthy woman at the age of 68. I've had upper respiratory infections that have lasted 5 months, and even I don't cough that bad. Even when I had it at its worst and I thought I was dying of something, I've never coughed that bad. I've always been able to work through it. Or I'll take the Chinese have this stuff called white lotus oil. It's just basically,
Oh, it's called heroin.
That's I was going to say opium, but okay.
well, no. It's like an oil version of Bengay in the way it smells. But it's like you take a drop of that and you just touch the underside of your nose and you just breathe it in a couple times and you stop coughing instantly. And it's like, she's got the
How
best
do you know you're not
doctors in the
coughing? You're
world.
just high.
No. She's
You
got
just
the
blink out
access
for a
to
couple
the best
hours.
physicians in the world, and none of them can sort this out. They're just like, oh yeah, she's perfectly fine.
Hold on,
It's
I
like,
just
how
want
much
to
are you
prove a
getting
point
paid?
really quick, Sean. Show us, turn your camera on so we can see your face. I want to show everybody your face really quick. Go ahead.
Yeah,
You
just
want-
after you
You guys are in love with face reveals these days.
listen, just after you outed Hillary, let's show your face.
Oh, so I seriously commit
No.
suicide.
I just quick point. Just a quick point. If you show your face so everybody can see it.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, can everybody see his face out there? Okay, doesn't that not look like the face of somebody who uses opium?
I do not
Just
use-
saying.
Are you happy now?
That was racist.
That is
That was-
racist.
That is
That's
totally
so
racist.
Wait a second.
the-
Wait a second. No. There was no racist involved in that. He has that
On
stupid
the
little fucking
eve
chin
of-
stash.
Second Miss Japan contest that was won by a half Indian, half Japanese girl. I find that racist and offensive, sir. Because I'm a half and half too. I'm not all Asian. See, there's no slant here. There's not one slanted eye, but there's some
No, there's
slant in
two.
there.
There's
Now,
two.
see, now I find that racist and offensive.
It can't be racist if the person is of the race that they're offending.
Oh, pulling the race card on me
PSA.
now, huh? I find that racist.
That's just my PSA for the day.
I'm sorry. Continue, Sean.
Anyway, I
wanted to point
thought
out
I'd have
everybody-
fun with story time because
Okay.
I heard that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know,
You
for
were
a
saying
while.
something earlier about Walt Disney. So can you? Is
Me?
that part of that? Yes, you.
Oh, well, no, I was just doing the comparison with, every time Pinocchio told a lie, his nose would grow. Well, every time Hillary starts to talk, her voodoo doll gets choked. Or,
Right.
like Siggy says, Darth Vader starts using the force on her larynx.
I find that more plausible, but okay, yeah.
Maybe it's even Yoda.
I just wish whatever's killing her would kill her faster.
I do too.
Wow, that's kind of savage, guys. I mean, she's gonna kill over in her own time.
Savage,
I mean-
look at what the woman's trying to do to our country.
own-
Tell me.
Oh no! She's gonna suffer.
Yeah.
You know, in
Her own
purgatory
time needs to
the
be
rest of her
like
life.
sooner
But
rather than later.
Don't take this the wrong way, Heavy B, but she makes the California legislation look like, kittens.
Girl Scouts.
I know because they're her minions. It's like it's like Despicable Me. She's like
I've got some good
an
news.
evil-
Speaking of that.
an evil version of Gru, and then like all the other legislators are
Yeah,
her
but
minions.
Gru is actually likable.
I said
Alright,
yeah,
evil.
so are the
I said
minions.
evil version. I said
I've got
evil
Gru
some
is
good
version.
likable,
news.
and so are the minions, but they're not.
Okay, so I got two pieces of good news. Number one, Amy Schumer was interviewed on BBC yesterday, and she said that if Donald Trump won the presidency, she will move to Spain. So let's help her get her ass out of here. Maybe she'll take her great uncle with her. And the other thing,
Bye,
Heavy, you'll
Felicia.
love this. You need to get out before election day because apparently your governor said that if Donald Trump wins the presidency, he will build a wall around the state of California, which would effectively lock you in.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
because no one
no.
has ever gotten on a plane before.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I
be
don't know,
working
man.
on-
These Californian, government people, they might not build a wall. They might just build a big plastic dome.
Heavy B, pack all your shit in your car and head for Arizona as soon as you can.
Like-
Well, no. What you can do? You're already on the southern side, so go find one of the tunnels that go down south, go into
I am-
Mexico, walk over, and then walk back up into Arizona. You're good.
Wow.
Just pull a Sarah Connor, get in the Jeep, head for the mountains. Don't wear a sports bra.
Mm, you might want to.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything mean, but as big as Heavy is, he may
Sports
need to
bra
use
optional.
some sort of apparatus. Oh, but all right,
Well,
all right.
hang on. I actually have a question kind of following the logic of, if she's not really healthy or whatever.
Right.
Because that was like a big deal with McCain, right? Because it's like, oh man, he's old. And it like, that's honestly, I do believe that's what tanked his candidacy was Sarah Palin. Because a lot of people were like, holy crap, we are like one heart attack away from this complete dumb idiot. So this is a legitimate question. Who is Hillary's vice president? Like, I'm so far out of the loop on that. I have no idea.
Bill.
Oh. Tim Kaine is Hillary's vice president.
Yeah, some evil douchebag.
I was gonna say, is he a douche too, or what? Like, what's his deal?
Too bad. Clinton's middle name isn't Abel. Cain Abel.
Right. But
He was or
Maybe her
is
maiden name
the senator from Virginia, incumbent senator from Virginia. But yeah, a lot of people are thinking that one of the reasons that she's not talking about her health issues is number one, because the bitch is just fucking power hungry. And number two, it's because she doesn't want to try to sell Tim Kaine as her successor should she keel over. It's like a lot of people think Tim Kaine and they just have this big question mark over their head about who the fuck is this guy. If you're not from Virginia, you probably don't know who he is, or you have to be really into politics to know who he is. So she's not trying to sell a successor yet. She's just power hungry. She wants that office. She was promised it back in 2008, and then all of a sudden Barack Obama came and they were like, look, we can sell the black guy a lot better. We can sell a crooked woman. So that's how.
Oh
she
no,
lost.
no, actually, 2008. Okay, let's go back 2008. If she would have won 2008, and everything would have happened, I think it would have been a better sell for Obama in 16 than the other way around.
See, I'm not so sure because if he stayed in Illinois, right? And I mean, think about it. 50 people died this weekend in Chicago. 50.
Right.
If he was,
But people don't care.
successful at
But
that-
the only people that care about that are gun owners and people in Chicago.
well, that's the thing, though. If you can't protect one city, how can we trust you with the nation? That's
Well,
how
the-
that's how Trump
But
would
the
run
thing is,
against him.
the crime was there in 2007, 2008.
Not at this
So-
magnitude,
Well,
though.
remember, we're not calling it Chicago anymore. We're calling it Chirac.
Ground zero for the
Sure.
hydrogen bomb test. We're gonna
No,
make
it is Chirac.
it's the Lake Michigan widening project. You know, a couple of epicenters of hydrogen bombs, erase Chicago, we'll evac Dano, and you know, we'll just make the
Oh,
lake a little bit
we
bigger.
got to evac Tony too because Tony's over there too.
We'll take them all out of there. Okay, we'll take ours out of there. But I don't know. It's just like if you can't
Take the good
solve
guys
your
out of
own
there.
country, or if you can't solve your own city, how can we trust you with the nation? That's what would have been against him in 2016 had Hillary won first.
That's still something I feel against him all the time. I mean, whether you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I'm still kind of trying to get over the president of the Philippines calling it Obama a son of a bitch today or yesterday. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and now he's double backing and saying he's so sorry.
I
He never
know,
should have
right?
said
It's like
that.
he is
just
murdering drug dealers. He is solving his nation's drug problem, and now he's you know,
I mean, what's that
doing
saying
something.
about world leaders that say shit about other world leaders, and then after they come back, after they come and visit them, you know, and leave, you know, they regret saying that and they're sorry about it. You know, what the
have some
hell?
balls and just, you know,
Have some balls to stand behind what you say and say what you.
Putin does.
Obama canceled that trip, though. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obama did cancel
I-
it because
I
of what he
bet-
said.
yeah, he went to
bet you-
China instead, and then North Korea fired 3 missiles as a fuck you to him.
I bet you he will go back.
You know, he had to use the service exit, the service elevator to get off the Air Force One,
Well,
right?
that's because Chinese people are short and their ramps don't need to be as tall. Ooh, now that's racist.
All right, Stone Guy, just you know, curbs the racist.
Now they did not bring a ramp out to him. I don't know if they
Delete.
didn't have one or if they were just trying to screw with him or whatever, but it happened, and he had to come out of the service ramp for the kitchen staff, I think.
Yep.
Wait, was this China telling him should have been in the back of the bus?
He did come out of the back of Air Force One.
Wait, this really happened in China?
This really happened.
Yep.
He
Oh, sorry,
landed,
Gotcha.
and they did not bring the truck-based stairs or whatever, and he had to go out he had to basically come out of the asshole of Air Force One.
That's hilarious.
How fitting.
See, if that would have happened to Trump, he would have came out the top with a jetpack on.
No, I think
I don't doubt that.
Trump would have responded with something like this. You know, he would have just been like, "Oh, it's cool, I'll get you back."
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
I think he would have just turned around and
I
had his
linked that
plane
the other
leave.
day in a chat, and you know,
Yeah,
and everybody said Night Strike. That is way too soon. And I go, no, it's not soon enough.
nah.
That's funny shit.
Well, all right. Since we're doing tinfoil hat tonight, does anybody have another conspiracy theory thing they want to talk about?
Okay, sure.
Other than Hillary willing to or trying her damnedest to get into office before she kicks the bucket so she can take it off her bucket list.
Mhm.
Let's
Literally.
see.
That bucket list
Exactly.
that bucket list spans the world at least 5 times. It goes
I don't know.
around and around and around and around.
I think it's the last one on our bucket list. That's why she's trying so hard to get it.
It's about as long as our solar system.
Now, the last thing on her bucket list is getting away with murdering her own husband.
Well, she almost succeeded when she threw that lamp.
I don't know. I mean, he already looks like half his soul's been sucked out of his body. So,
Well, if you
Yeah,
were married to
halfway
her
there.
for how many years, you'd look like that too.
she's definitely halfway there.
Well, yeah. So yeah, she's trying to do it. But other than that, no, I have no other conspiracy theories that are.
Okay. Well, not conspiracy theories, but you know,
Hey, I have an
Heavy,
idea. Any
what's going on?
gun-related stuff to talk about?
Yeah, what's going on in California? I heard they're trying to put another law through or something.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I fucking don't even pay attention anymore. There's such. By the time they're done breathing, you'll have to have a permit to breathe, drink water, and pretty much you have to have a license for everything. So
Well, I did see that the veto gun-mageddon or whatever, they didn't get enough signatures like by the deadline to get the stuff on the ballot in November, but they're gonna keep pushing because if they can get it on the ballot for 17, then somehow like the new law won't go into effect until it gets voted on. So it's kind of, what do they call that? Like a stay or a something.
a state of execution.
Stopgap measure.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so like there's something where like sometimes there will be a court case in the law. They'll say like, well, this won't go into effect until like the court case is finished, and then whatever
I know what
happens.
you're talking about. I'm brain farting on the terminology right now.
So, but anyway, so that's they still need help out there, and like that at least would push it back another year or another, 6 months or whatever.
And it's
Did
not
you
only
guys
California, it's
cover-
Washington, and
Did
they're
you guys
trying to
cover
push it
the
everywhere.
fact that the FBI released the full Hillary report the Friday of Labor Day weekend? Did you guys talk about that yesterday?
No.
No, we didn't talk
Not
about
sure,
politics
but-
at all. So
Okay, well,
Did
let's
they
talk
really?
about that.
That's
Don't
they
you find that
always,
completely
they always
innocent?
do that,
Odd.
right?
Yeah, it's a marketing ploy where everyone's traveling and it's Friday afternoon on a 3-day weekend, and yet one of the most important investigations of probably the last couple of years, they just decided, oh, we're just going to go ahead and
More than
squeak this out, so that way we can basically have deniability, because we're like, hey, we put it out there, no one read it. They do this shit all the time. Like
Well, and
Obama's
it's-
executive orders happen on Friday evenings or Sunday prime time also.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
it's out there.
especially-
people can go back and read it though. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, they've been
have
dissecting it all
access
day today. It's just, it's a shitty move on the part of the FBI, as if they were going to put one over on the nation, and everyone's like, no fucker, we're reading it today.
That's
you're
that's
not-
not only the FBI though. That's the whole administration and government, because
Well, yeah, but the FBI
when
actually
Obama-
released this on Friday.
but
It was
yeah,
their
but
doing.
okay. I mean,
See, I think you're
Obama
going
did the
too
same
far
thing
into
with
this.
the M855s. I believe.
See, I think you guys are going too far into this. I think they were just told to have this shit done, and they wanted to have it done so they could have the weekend, so they could have the 3-day weekend. And they were
No,
like, well,
it-
"Fuck it, here."
It was done a long time ago, and they're waiting because you never just finish it and then release anything.
Right. They've had this
And
ready
in
to go
business.
for the day Comey did his announcement, what, almost a month ago? Over
I don't
over a
want
month
to
ago?
was
commit suicide announcement.
All that was ready to go the day he did that.
Right.
They held
Absolutely.
it deliberately.
Absolutely.
Right, and it's exactly what you were mentioning earlier, right? So the ATF with the SIG brace
Exactly.
Friday before a long
Friday
weekend,
before a long
The-
weekend.
the import ban on the the 7N6, the M855 had a little more time, but even that, if I remember correctly, they like announced like, oh yeah, we give up on that. We changed our mind. We'll consider it later. They said that on a Friday.
That's because of the outcry and the response.
Right. But, and I mean, if you really look at with that one, everyone thinks like, yeah, we beat them and everything. And you're right. We
No.
pushed it back. But basically all they said was, oh, we didn't expect these many comments. We'll reconsider it later. which means we'll wait for you to not pay attention and we'll do it again.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we
Right.
won the
Yeah,
battle,
it-
but we didn't win the war, and that's what
Damn it! You took that shit out of my mouth.
Put that back in his mouth, damn it.
I don't know where his mouth has been, so no.
Oh my god.
Oh, come on, you know. I've been eating snow for a while.
See, but the
I
thing
hope
is,
it's not
is,
yellow.
like, what's really unfortunate, which is almost tragic, is because of the way that the media spin everything. You know, if you paid attention to what gets released on Fridays and you make a stink, you're the nut job. You're the one that's calling it out, and you're like, oh my God, you must have nothing better to do in your life to always go and find these details and pick on things. It's like, no, you're failing to do your job of reporting this, and we're having to do your job for you. And because we're informed, you're calling us the nut jobs.
Well, of course, because then
That's what they're
if
spinning.
they can get everybody to believe that you're the nut job, then their word is still gold. See?
It's like these people need
They
to
don't
be the
give a
ones
fuck
that are
about-
coughing constantly in public, because they're the ones, you know, spinning the bullshit.
You know, and that's not just the media. That's the general uninformed population.
Well, that's
In general.
that's the sad thing. The uninformed population, they don't care because they don't know, because they're not looking for it. They don't watch the news. They're already in the back of, you know, I was going to say a Vista Cruiser, but those are so far old. They're in the back of like a CTSV Touring or, you know, a van, and they're driving to wherever they're going to barbecue for the weekend. They're not even listening to this shit. You know, they've got like SpongeBob on a DVD player, hoping the kids will just shut the hell up until they get there. So they're not informed. They don't care. They've got their own lives to deal with, you know.
I just thought of something. This could be the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, and Hillary Clinton is patient zero.
No, Zika virus is patient zero. That's how it spreads.
Yeah, it's a
wow.
virus.
I don't
every
know.
See a
year.
mosquito.
I don't
Wow.
know.
Virus every-
If you watch every zombie flick out there, it's always the first person starts hacking and
No,
coughing.
you see, that's the
then
thing.
they start getting sweaty, and then they
A
like
mosquito
all the
bit
guy, and
Harambe, who's above Jill Stein in the polls, and then that mosquito was eaten by a bird who migrated to Brazil, who mated with another bird, and all those birds had Zika virus, and then it spread like wildfire. And then the mosquitoes, you know, bit the birds, and now here we are. And
I don't know. I think Darth Vader
just
went
as
down
absurd.
to Brazil. Darth Vader went to Brazil, had sex, got Zika, brought it back, had sex with Hillary, and now she's Zika. Now she
I'm
has
just
Zika
trying to
too.
bring Harambe back into this as part of the theory because he's
so sick
beating
of
Jill Stein in the
Harambe.
polls.
Everybody's
Although
like,
I have to admit, dude, I saw this funny thing. It was a YouTube video where these guys, this guy like had his mom like reading memes and trying to explain them, and she had no idea what any of them were. But you know, it was, I don't know. There was a couple of Harambe ones and stuff. She's like, I don't get it. What's a Hermby or whatever? And then you know the guy just starts laughing, and then finally near the end, there was one that said something about Harambe and the kid or whatever. She's like, oh, that's that monkey. And it's like, now I get all those other ones.
See, my dad's 81 years old, so he's a little bit senile and he's a little bit naive. And he thought that last hurricane that just hit Florida was named after. He was like, why the fuck did they name a hurricane after a dead gorilla? I was like, no, it's not that.
so they didn't name it after a dead gorilla?
No, they named it after some chick from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And they're not even pronouncing her name right, so.
Yeah, I saw that the other day, and that's so funny that they named it that. We had a certain
All right,
person. Go ahead.
Here's something that's happened in the news today. I figured we might as well talk about it since we were on the whole Hillary Clinton thing.
Sure.
But one of the lawmakers today asked the FBI if Clinton was personally involved in the deleting of said emails on that server.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. He wants to
Yeah.
actually start a new case and actually seek prosecution of her because of it.
Because if she was active, there's a link in the internal chat. If she was actively part of giving the go-ahead, saying yes or no, she told them to delete those emails. Technically, she was committing perjury, right?
Lying about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if she said yes, go ahead and delete them, then guess what? There is a case there for it. So, granted, a slim case because she'll never get indicted or anything. But the fact is, they could proceed with some sort of hearing and grill her the fuck out.
No, she'll sell
Well,
out.
We know what she's gonna say.
She'll
gonna
hang
say that
Uma Abedin first. Like, she'll let that woman die for whatever she's gotten away with before she'll admit to anything.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The lawmakers aren't interested in that Uma Abedin. They're interested in her. If they get Gowdy there again, then he's going to go after her. So,
You
I
mean
just
before
figured,
he commits suicide mysteriously?
because, he said something about Hillary's health,
Exactly.
right?
By the way, I have a question to pose to you guys here in the panel. What did Vladimir Putin's personal limo driver know about Hillary Clinton?
She's a super.
No. What did he not? Because the thing is, did you guys hear about that this weekend? Putin wasn't in the car, but this guy was driving Putin's presidential BMW, right? And he was involved in a violent head-on collision, and he died. So, the meme jokes are every time someone dies, what did this person know about Hillary Clinton?
Have you seen their driving over there? I've seen the way they drive over there in
this dude
Russia.
just veered across the median and
It may have just been just one of those
It is.
accidents.
It is. It's just I was playing into the meme as soon as I saw the
Right.
video.
Not a coincidence. He was assassinated by a poison-tipped dart, and then he fell on the wheel and veered into the traffic.
Yeah, one of those radioactive darts, right?
Yeah, it's just
Well, it's
like in
just
James
curious
Bond.
that-
Cold War
my
style.
thought is, what did he know about Putin?
No, see,
No,
because
no.
everyone knows
Putin
that
don't
Putin's
care.
running for
Putin
president
brags
in
about it.
2020 here, so.
Putin brags about it on national television on Russian Today or whatever that RT news channel is. I think it's Russia Today.
It depends. Depending
He
on what
brags
they
about
know,
it till the
he still
cows
has
come.
people killed.
And then he eats the cows.
Well, when you're former KGB and you hunt bear, you kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, don't tell me just because he's former KGB that he's not communist anymore, because the fact is you don't get to be as high up as he got in the KGB and not be a communist that believes in the party, because that just doesn't happen in the Soviet Union. And I know
wonder though, what if he ran for president of this country? I'm thinking
he couldn't.
landslide victory.
Well,
He couldn't.
can't. He's not a citizen.
If he was here, I'm saying,
Not-
if he was here, right, and he was a CIA guy or whatever,
He would probably win.
he'd win by a landslide. Because the first thing he would do after 9/11 is bomb everybody. He wouldn't. No fucks are given with Vladimir Putin. If a Russian soldier dies, that country suffers. Whoever killed their soldiers, he goes after them.
Oh yeah, look at the plane that got shot down. He fucking went nuts on Turkey.
Right. You remember that, what was it, a Chechen uprising, and they took hostages in like an opera house or something? He gassed the whole opera house. He was like, fuck it, end it. I was like, holy shit. He just kind of threw the gas in there and he was like, result, let's go home. He does not fuck around.
Yeah, that is true.
He does not pay $400 million to Iran for, ransom. And then what did we hear today? Another Iranian set of boats came after, U.S. warships again. Why is this even
they need to pay for some nukes.
Yeah, it's like, why is this even
Gotta pay for
tolerated?
nukes somewhere.
They came after the boat because they wanted another ransom payment.
They
Clearly.
wanted another ransom payment, and I'll be honest, if they do that, I don't care if our boats are bigger or smaller or whatnot. Fucking fire on them. We probably have better weapons even on our smallest ships than they do on their boats.
That's
All right,
the
fellas,
point.
I haven't heard about this newest one. What was it? A destroyer or was it a smaller ship?
Let me see if I can find the story.
But they have basically PT boats.
I don't think
Radio
we
in for
use those
support
Limbo
and just
Beast.
fire on them, sink their ships, take their people hostage. What the hell? It isn't a one-way street.
You know, that's exactly what I thought the last time they had those 3 or 4.
If they want to
boats that
fuck around
that
with
were
the United
fucking around
States,
with one of our
fuck with
destroyers.
them.
You know, when our
Tell them,
destroyer had
okay,
to fire.
Guys were
You
sent
owe
there
us
on
$400 million.
Those guys were sent there on purpose, and the Iranians picked them up. Said, "Okay, we got your dudes. Give us a 400 mil. All right, cool. Here's your dudes back. Let's do this again sometime. Thanks."
Yeah,
And-
let's do this again sometime. That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they came after the USS Firebolt today, coastal patrol ship. It's, I guess, bigger than a PT boat, but yeah, they came at them with essentially what looked like a bunch of pleasure craft. If you ask me, here, I'll send you a link. But,
Well, I mean, if it's in international waters, that's.
so the U.S.
war.
claimed they were in international waters. The Iranians said that they drifted over. Doesn't matter. You send that many boats within 500 yards of your 500 meters of your boat, you blow their shit out of the water. You don't want another.
You don't know if they have. You have no idea if they have dynamite or whatever on their boats, and
You don't want another
they
USS
ram
Cole.
yours.
You know, like if
Well,
you have a bunch of
okay,
little
I
swift
just
boats coming at
linked-
you, don't take chances.
I just linked. That's the Firebolt. If our ships like that are surrendering to the Iranians, then we've got a fucking problem.
Well, they didn't surrender to him this time.
Hey, Night Strike, is that in the internal?
Yeah, it's in the internal.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Look at that ship. Tell me that ship does not need to surrender. They could
No, I
blow
can't see
those ships in the water.
No, what happened is they probably radioed in that they've got, high speed boats coming at them quickly. What do? And then they got orders from above to say, do not engage. You just take it, because somebody very, very, very far upstairs, obviously, said, just take it.
Yeah, here's the one that I remember
Yeah.
from like last week.
Freaking open up. Just put some fucking rounds in the water in front of them. Say, hey, you fucking.
that
too
thing's
close.
got-
Back the
That's
fuck off.
what happened last week. Is what I'm trying to say. Is when they had 4 boats that came up to one of our destroyers,
Yeah.
and our destroyer fired flares. I mean, because these guys were within 300 yards. Our destroyer fired flares, and then it fired shots into the water, and they couldn't do anything more after that.
Because they weren't cleared to do so. Because, I
Right.
mean, that ship right there, it's got twin Mark 19 belt-fed, basically Mod Deuce 40 millimeter machine guns. I mean, that thing could have lit up those boats, and they didn't do it.
You sink one of them fucking boats, and this shit ends.
I love Mark 19s.
They are fun. I would say they would be.
And for anyone that doesn't know what ship we're talking about, I'll screen share it so you guys can see it.
No,
Yeah,
Matt
Matt
already put the
all
link
the-
on there.
This
put
is
it
the
in.
ship we're
Cruise
talking
ship-
about.
of
This
all
is
the-
the ship.
Of all the
Oh,
cruise
you already
ship
got screen
I've
share.
ever shot,
Yeah.
I would have to say the Mark 19 is my favorite.
Yeah, that thing's got twin miniguns, twin Mark 19s, 6 Tomahawk missiles. I mean, that can defend itself.
I mean,
And it
you're
didn't.
telling me this ship right here that I'm screen sharing right now has to surrender and take it from 4 little pleasure craft.
Oh, no. It didn't surrender. It just
No.
didn't engage them.
No, here's the thing. We shouldn't be letting them do this, regardless of whether we're in international waters or their waters. They should leave us the fuck alone, and if they don't, we should show them why they should.
All right, I'm going to play devil's advocate. And I'm
No,
going to
no,
sit
no, no,
here.
no. There's no devil in it.
It's totally the same as when the Russians were buzzing our ships just a few weeks ago. We're just getting fucked with on all sides because
They're
people
doing
know
it to
that.
see how much they can get away with.
Well, they know that our president is such a fucking pussy. He ain't gonna do shit. He
Right.
ain't
So they're going to continue to do it to see how far they can push the envelope. And then one day, God forbid, it's going to be, they're going to push the envelope. And then the guys in the boat are going to be like, it's just another one of their. And then all of a sudden something goes off against the hull.
Right.
It's like the
Yep.
test is over. Now something happens. And then the president's going to stand there dumbfounded going, well, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought they were just, a bit excited. They were just exercising their ability to keep us at bay and make up a million other excuses coming out of
Yes.
the ascent of Air Force
Well,
One.
see,
Yeah,
if it's
so-
going to happen, it's got to happen like before Trump gets elected. And I'm going to say that because I don't know if you guys heard, but even the CNN poll has Trump up by 2 points right now.
Yes,
Uh,
actually, 5 polls have him up between 2 to 5% now, or 2 to 5 points now.
I have seen that.
Rasmussen, CNN, Real Clear Politics, and like 2 others. They have him
No.
up.
Now, have you guys heard that 88 former generals and commanders have recently come out in support of Trump?
Oh yeah,
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and then
that's
and then
awesome.
there's even some existing ones that have already supported him as well.
Good.
See, and I know
our
a lot of
military-
people are going to say this because I already saw it in the chat on the Gun Channel side about Hannity being a bit of a douche, which I can't deny he is a bit of a douche. But the thing is,
But he's
He
our
sees-
douche.
he sees the bigger picture here. When he talks about Supreme Court justices, when he talks about half the Bill of Rights being at stake here, hold your nose and vote for the guy who actually has some backing by the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, okay, you might not like Team Tangerine, but you have to like the fact that he's not going to take the Bill of Rights and wipe his ass with it like Hillary Clinton will. That's the only reason I support this guy, because
I'm
I
sorry,
was a
Sean.
Cruz guy for the longest time because, Texas guy, he made a lot of sense to me. But the fact that he won't keep his word about, okay, let's be fair. Trump went really, really low when he started dragging Cruz's wife into this, and it got pretty personal, and that was stupid of him to do. But
He
the
did the
bigger
same thing
picture
with Bush.
here,
He was fighting 16 people at the time.
he
though.
beat 16 people, and he still finished his primary before Hillary could defeat a 74-year-old jobless dick, that obviously was ripped off. I mean, we know for a fact he was ripped off. Superdelegates is like the
Yeah.
biggest voter fraud in history. But, he did that. And yeah, he should not have gone personal, because if he didn't do that and he still beat Cruz would have nominated, or he would have, what's the word I'm looking for? He would have
Supported
endorsed him.
Yeah.
He would have totally endorsed him, I think. But because he made it personal, it became insulting. And, as a man of, quote, integrity, I find it hard for a guy who had his wife attacked and his kids attacked to actually endorse. But then again, I still see the bigger picture here.
All
I
right,
also
well,
think. Wait, hold on. I think Trump did a smart thing there because he separated himself from Cruz and the rest of the establishment politicians, and that's where his main support is the disenfranchised, anti-establishment people. So by him just pushing himself further away, and then afterwards saying, what, fuck him, I don't need his support.
This is true to a degree, but you got to remember, Cruz is the only guy who went into the Senate bucking the system and being hated by all the other senators. He's
I
the one that did a
understand that.
23-hour filibuster by himself.
I
Where Democrats,
understand that.
what, 7
I am
people?
not taking away any of his achievements. I'm just saying Trump did the right thing
No, it's a good point. I think it's valid too.
by putting boot to ass on Cruz before Cruz could put boot to ass on him. As the
Fair
preemptive
enough.
strike, I think he did the right thing. I think for his campaign. Okay, I don't think it's morally correct, but I think
Right.
that what he did was the wisest thing he could have done at that time to help separate himself even further.
Sure. Because, I mean,
All right.
politics is a dirty game. So.
all right, I'm gonna end this part of the chat with well, yes, we Hillary is horrible. She's a gangrenous,
Yes.
mighty morphin thundercut.
With tuberculosis.
Mighty Morphin.
Tuberculosis.
With tuberculosis. So we'll throw that in there.
Hi Hillary, how you doing today? I'm dying. How
but
are
can-
you?
But here's the thing: we need Trump for one reason. We need a president that's not gonna, draw a line, and do nothing when they cross it. We need a president that's gonna be a bully and gonna be just as gruff and abrasive
You don't have
as,
to be. You
as the
don't have
rest
to
of the
be.
world.
You don't have to.
We
be
need a president with
powerful.
balls.
Wait, let me ask you guys something.
Yeah, you
As-
don't have to be a bully to have balls, dude. I mean, you
Does that
can
mean
be
we've
there-
all given up on Gary Johnson?
fuck Gary Johnson.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Gary Johnson is.
I haven't given up on Gary Johnson.
Full
Fuck all you.
retard liberal, and he's gone anti-gun.
So you're saying he's
He hasn't gone
libertarian.
anti-gun. When has he ever gone anti-gun?
Yeah.
Look,
Anyways,
the only Johnson I'm down for is my own. All right, so
When has Gary Johnson been anti-gun.
Don't tell me you can be a libertarian, be for liberty, and pro-gun, and throw a musket pistol away. And don't tell me that was a fucking toy, because I've seen pictures of the damn thing.
Wait, you're still hung up on that one thing?
Yeah, that doesn't mean
Yes,
he's
he is.
anti-gun.
He's like a
His
dog with a
vice-
bone on this.
His vice president is
They're very
way
anti-gun.
His vice president's a douche. I'll give you that. My question was, what from Gary Johnson proves that he's anti-gun? Because I don't believe he is not a gun guy. He's not a gun aficionado. He doesn't really care. However,
See, that's the
He-
problem. If he doesn't care, that means
no,
he's
dude,
not for
I
it.
don't have to like fucking drag car races to support your right to own a drag car. You know, I don't have to know how to fly a drone to think it's okay to own one.
I
You
see
know,
what you're
you can
saying.
have your own
He
interests.
doesn't have to be pro
and still
2A to
support
leave
someone
2A
else's.
alone, is what you're saying.
But the problem is, with a vice president like that, you're not going to leave 2A alone. You're going to listen to whatever he says, and you're
doesn't
probably
do
going to go
Presidents
along.
don't do shit.
Yeah, they're just the president of the Senate and a tiebreaker when the Senate's deadlocked in a vote. So,
Either way,
that's
we
not
got a
the big
question
deal.
from the YouTube
And,
side.
and
I
they
don't want to
take
go
over,
to
and
the
they,
down
and they,
this
ta-
road.
and they take over the country if the president kicks the bucket, so or is unable to fulfill the duties of office.
FDR for
apparently,
him.
some of our viewers on YouTube is saying Johnson is full of shit, and I kind of believe that too. But we got
Hey,
one question from
the
YouTube
one
side.
fair thing is he did not do what Jill Stein said, is I want to disarm the police. That's why she's losing to Harambe.
Right.
Wow. Why the hell? Why?
Yeah.
No,
Why would
man.
Because she's high. That's why. Because it's the Green Party.
Maybe she's
on.
fucking calling Kubrick. I don't know.
I
Hey,
think
You
we
want
should
to
call it.
disarm our military too?
I think she's like a mushroom. I think she's changed to the mushroom party. I think she's doing shrooms. She fucking thinks that shit's
Anyways.
gonna happen.
Here's the question from YouTube. This is Green Camo. He asks Matt questions all the time. He's asking, how do we prep for a Hillary presidency? What can we do prepping wise to prepare ourselves for
I got this one.
the Hillary candidacy
Go ahead,
or
Smeggy.
presidency?
Hey guys, Matt here, Never Enough Ammo. Okay guys, buy some Maverick 88s.
And some tourists.
Oh god.
And then also, you have to use your imagination and pretend that took like 2 hours to say that.
Oh shit.
And that's my
There.
impersonation.
And then remember, you need a Keltec Sub 2000 to throw in your backpack.
Okay, so
and don't look for me
realistically,
on Wednesday night if he hears this, because I think I just
realistically
uninvited myself.
speaking, how would you prep for a Hillary Clinton presidency? The radical approach is sell everything you own, move to Alaska, the last frontier. Huge influx of new population there because it's so far away that most presidents won't do shit about it. But the realistic approach is
Move to
Just
Arizona or Idaho.
no, you prepare for a Hillary Clinton presidency by voting for everybody in Congress and the Senate who will work against her. You nullify her ability to get anything done. That's how you truly prepare for a president that you don't want.
I have a way to beat or prepare for a Hillary presidency. This is how you prepare, people. Wait, she's gonna drop dead from tuberculosis or Darth Vader choking her.
Lung AIDS.
Lung AIDS. Scurvy, fucking Zika, whatever.
I have
She
another
is not
way.
healthy, so just wait. She'll fall off, and then we'll be okay.
Then we have to just deal with Tim Kaine.
See, I got another way. So if you want just like conditioning, just live in California for a little bit and see what it's like to not have any rights, and then you'll be used to it when it comes to all the different states.
Oh, sorry, I just had to sneeze there.
No, I
heard
mean
that
let's
too.
give realistic answers here. I think voting for congressmen and senators who will work against her, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is if you are considering this, move to a more politically friendly state for you. Like Matt has been discussing moving to like Idaho. Montana's pretty friendly. I would have recommended Wyoming, but it's become like an ISIS safe house or what do they call it, a refugee safe house
I'm
lately.
considering moving back to Arizona.
So, I mean, there are places you can still go to if you don't already live in a state like that. I mean, I don't think Texas is going to be overly affected, so I'm probably not too worried about it. If there's any weapons that you think could possibly see a ban, save a couple of bucks and maybe buy one before election day. Don't buy all of them.
If you have all the weapons that you think are going to be banned, and you are more concerned about accessories, buy the accessories.
Buy some mags,
What about
buy some
food
ammo.
preps? I mean, I think this person was actually talking more about prepper type preps.
Sure, but I mean, I don't think like we're gonna run out of food globally just because she gets elected. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but you could start World War III.
I mean,
and
what's
then
she
we
gonna
could
do?
No,
do
but
it.
locally.
Will she outlaw
yeah,
pork?
well, I mean, there's one thing. I mean, the U.S. feeds the rest of the world.
Well, I mean,
That's
okay,
true. We
so
do
worst
so
case
much-
scenario-
We produce 80% of the
Right.
fucking produce for the world. So.
Well,
Worst
that-
case
that-
scenario,
there's
she
so many feral
capitulates to
hogs
her
out there.
Saudi overlords and bans pork. So you better just start buying bacon now.
Well,
That's right. There's enough wild bacon out there. We're good.
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah,
mention-
well,
I mean,
I couldn't
that-
hit it
that,
this
Prep
week.
like you'd normally prep anyway.
Well, that's
so
because-
you don't have to use them.
Because
But
you
I'll
don't know
show
where to
you
go.
why I couldn't hit one. Yeah, I gotta go grab the other one real quick though.
so
Were you using the wrong 500?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't take the 500. Come on. All right,
My answer to that is keep voting on your local and state and federal level, exactly like Sean said, for people who
all
are
right, gather
going
around,
to-
children. It's gun porn time. Just slightly.
hang on, Sean. Before you get into that, I want to mention something.
Sure.
You said something about hey, buy guns that may be banned or whatever. And
Well, not all of them. Just
no, I
five.
get it. But you said something like that. So
Yeah.
my only thing with that is I honestly believe they learned from the 94, and if another ban comes down, it will not be grandfathered. So look forward to turning in your ARs
Yeah.
for $200 in a
You see,
forced
the thing
buyback.
is,
Wait
I
a
don't
second.
think they could pass it without grandfathering, but I don't think they would pass it with a sunset clause.
Right. I'm thinking the sunset. Now
Yeah,
they
that's
may
definitely
make
gone.
say,
But
okay, it's illegal to transfer.
look at California with their mags. Those won't be grandfathered in. Those are gone. So all that money you spent, luckily
That
with
was
them,
a
they could
state
sell it out of
fair.
state.
Talking about a
No, because they've already come up with a device for the AR anyway, to be able to use magazines. That's
No.
They don't have
30
the
round
manpower.
magazines, dude. You
Oh,
can't
we have-
own 30
We
round
haven't-
magazines.
Dude, I know this. We haven't been able to do that since fucking forever, 1994, dude. I mean,
All I'm saying
seriously,
is
that's
you're
old
going to pass
news.
it on a state by state level, but to try to pass this on a national level, it's not going to sell. There's just no.
Not to mention, they're not going to come knocking on your door to take your stuff. They don't have the manpower to do that. And once it starts, that would ignite something nobody wants. Freaking, because
Yeah,
you know
the
you got the
National
people with the
Guards.
mindset that would be out there just fucking. The National Guard would be on the side of the people.
Yeah, they would stand down. They would just be like,
and the
"Fuck that."
military would be. I mean,
They are the-
actually, a lot of people say the police would not, but that's not true. A lot of the cops out there are pro 2A people. There are a lot.
They're on our
especially
side.
sheriffs.
All right,
Yeah,
so
especially sheriff's deputy.
Darren is saying, go ahead and buy mags and ammo. But the thing is like, if you've ever been a listener or viewer to Never Enough Ammo, Matt's chats, he's always, already saying, just every paycheck, buy one box of ammo. So if you're not doing that already, then you're already behind the curve. But I mean, mags and ammo is just something that you should always be kind of keeping in the back of your mind no matter what. Panic buy or not, you should always buy a box here or there. Or if you're a reloader, just buy all the components now, and then you can always do it at your leisure.
I've been doing that, and I'm still thinking of start getting steel case. Shoot brass, store steel.
And I have a slightly a slight different opinion on the whole buy a box paycheck thing. Just because of the economics of it,
Mhm.
I put away $10 every paycheck instead of buying a box. And then when I have enough to buy 1,000 at a time, you can get them for cheaper.
Oh, you're talking
than
about
if
bulk
you would've
discount.
bought each box at once.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
still,
yeah, but I mean,
still-
think about it
well,
like this. You could buy the brass and all the parts and reload it for 10% of the cost of the box you're buying, even in bulk. So, I mean, you can
Oh
split
yeah,
that in a 5
reloading
different
good
ways.
too. I
if
don't do
you
it
have the
yet.
equipment, yes.
Right. The thing with reload is the startup is so great. So if you're not,
Even
if
then,
you're
that's
just
not bad.
stocking-
Don't buy
Right, but
one
if you're just
686 revolver and you can buy an entire reload set.
That's true.
I mean, if you and I
look,
would
look,
say
look,
that-
instead of your
Hey,
two
hey
ARs,
guys.
Yeah.
You guys are all focused on ammunition, accessories, magazines, guns. What about spare parts, people? They're machines. They break. Buy spare parts for your firearms.
I've got spare parts.
I have
That's
spare parts and I have a spare gun that has
I'm
all
sh-
the parts on it that I need.
Okay, and say you got to let somebody else have that gun.
Buy parts kits.
All your
Spare-
parts are gone. Buy spare parts. That's what I'm saying. Buy extra parts for your firearms.
Okay, I have a third gun that has everything I need.
Oh, great. Fine. I'm happy for you. Great. Don't worry about it. Do what you want to do. I was answering
no,
Campbell's question.
It's not bad
Yeah, I mean,
advice. It's
parts
just I
are
don't
great
think
too,
Smith
but-
and Wesson's going to go out of business, so I can send my performance center gun there and they'll still fix it.
Okay, as far as the prepping thing goes, yeah, make sure you have all the food and water storage,
Medical supplies.
medical supplies.
The
Make
things
sure
that
you
will not disappear just because
Yeah.
she got elected.
just,
let's be
just
real.
make sure you have all that stuff just in case. But you want to buy whatever that's on your bucket list. Not everything, but at least
Look.
one or two things I would recommend.
Okay.
You need to have ammunition. It doesn't
All right.
matter how much you have, you need to have some.
Can I just say something
And
to counter
as
Sean's
Heavy
point
said,
real quick?
yes,
Sure.
get parts.
All right. Yeah, get parts. Also, the food and the water preps and the medical preps, you are more likely to need those than guns and
Yes.
ammunition in case of a national disaster or like a storm and you can't get to the store for 3 days or something like. It is a more feasible prep and I think more important prep. And for people who are into firearms, they already have the firearms we're talking about telling them to go get.
Sure.
They already have ammunition. They already have magazines. Get extra parts. Make sure you have your food, your water, your medical, and you're good.
Yeah, but now
You
you're
know?
talking about preparing for natural disasters. We're talking about preparing for a cunt in the office. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference there. I mean, those things, you're right. If you want to prepare for anything, yeah, be prepared for a storm-like situation
Look,
that maybe lasts.
Preppers already have these things.
Right.
They've
So, I
already
mean,
got stockpiles
we're
of
being asked,
ammunition.
But
and-
we're
he's-
being
and
asked
he's
what to
firearms.
asking-
prep for in an election. That's
Yeah,
all we're
in
being
an
asked.
election.
Well, he said the event of
prep.
her being
So
elected.
he said prep. So we're covering all bases, okay? Heavy,
Yeah.
not just one.
No, I mean, I agree
wa-
with you, Heavy.
I want to make sure that everyone is covering all their bases instead of just one aspect. Because if you only cover one base, and then something else happens that you can totally unprepared for, then you're kind of fucked.
I just answered
Exactly.
the literal question. What do you prep for when Hillary gets elected? Because when Hillary gets elected, we're not going to get hit
Absolutely.
by an F5 hurricane. You see what I'm
Get
saying?
Vaseline, because we're all about to get fucked.
Yeah, if you live in California, you already have a couple bottles on the shelf.
Wow.
Or your name is Night Strike
With a Y.
with a Y
With the one.
because he sells himself on Craigslist.
Right. No.
There we
not
go.
at all.
Stop picking on California, you bastard.
I didn't pick on California.
I lived there. It was
Though
horrible.
I would find it hilarious if your governor actually goes through with building a wall around the state.
That would be fucking hilarious. I would sit up on top of the wall and laugh at him.
Be like,
And
"Why
then-
do
and
we
then we could
want
say,
She's
hey,
like
I-
border free.
They did
And
it
then-
for us.
And then I would rappel down the other side.
There you go. We'll help you out, man.
All right.
Next
Does
question.
anyone on the YouTube side or on the Gun Channel side have any more questions for us? Maybe some better questions. Any questions?
The one?
Because we only got that one.
All right, well, I'll tell a story
Well,
while you're waiting for the next question. Does that sound
once
good?
upon a time.
No. I'm gonna share a gun question. I'm gonna share a gun story. So usually when I go hunting, I take this.
Kind of
Okay.
blurry. What
Does
is
that
it?
fit?
Was that a 44?
Yes, it is. This is a Smith & Wesson Performance Center 629 competitor. It's got the weighted barrel. You might have recognized this from G.I. Joe. This is what The Rock carried. But
And
this
that's
is what I
he
usually
bought
take.
it.
it's sort of why I bought it. Actually, I sold a car for it. But that's beside the point. Back to the story.
So we could have the Rock's gun.
6-inch
missing the
barrel,
car.
44 Magnum. It's, it's comfortable. It's nice. The only mod I've really done to it was I put a grip from a 500 Magnum, the X-frame, to cover the back strap, so I can shoot this thing like crazy. This is what I typically go hog hunting with. This time I was a little bit more ambitious, so I took this. As you can tell, much shorter barrel, 454 Casull, 2.5-inch barrel, Super Red Hawk, Ruger Super Red Hawk Alaskan. This used to be my Denali gun when I'd go up to Alaska, till I got my 500. But, I just wanted to, quote, take the old girl out, and I couldn't hit shit with it because I haven't shot this thing in over a year. So 3 days of worth of hunting. I only saw 2 hogs the entire weekend, and the first one flew underneath it, and the second one flew slightly to the left of it. So I didn't catch shit, but hey, I had a good time. That's my story. That's where I've been. That's why I missed Saturdays or Sundays reloading chat. My apologies.
It's Sundays, and yes.
Sunday.
See, I would have respected you more if you'd have just said, I'm sorry, I was out with this hot chick for the weekend.
No, I'm sorry because my aim was off and I didn't, quote, bring home the bacon.
So basically, you went on a date with a good-looking girl, and she shut you down, and you couldn't bring home the fatty. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then he
Well,
went
that's-
hogging.
that's-
That's why we didn't have pork chops tonight.
That is good life advice. Is make sure you're on target with your hunting gun.
Yes.
Something similar. Well, not necessarily like that, but that happened to my dad. We were actually inside eating like some lunch, and I happened to glance out the window, and there was a freaking like 10-point standing in the backyard up north. And I was like, "Holy shit! There's a deer!" So my dad went, like his rifle was right by the back door. He grabbed that and went out over like around the side of the garage and kind of waited for it to get over a little bit. Took a shot at it, missed. Tried to take another shot at it, missed again, whatever. Thing was gone. So he's like, dang, that sucked. Well, then he was coming back inside, and I was looking at his gun. His like rear sight was like wiggling. It was a sight that I guess my grandpa put on a long time ago that like he had to tap into the side, and then like the mount kind of goes up over the top, and the hole had worked its way like loose, so this
Top
thing's
on.
like riveted in place, and it just wobbles up and down all over the place. I'm like, well,
Let
no
me
wonder
just
you didn't
add-
fucking hit anything, dude. Like this could be anywhere.
I'd like to just add that, yes, this probably only happens in Michigan, because when you told that story, the only thing I could compare it to was when, 60-ish years ago, when my dad was a little kid, he went hunting up in northern Michigan with his 4 cousins, his uncle, and his stepbrother. And almost all of them are Detroit police. They all went up to this cabin. They're all standing there talking about what they're going to do for the weekend. My dad grabs an old 270 and points it out the window of the kitchen while they're all talking and pops a fucking 6-point buck. And he was like, well, I got mine for the season. And they thought he was full of shit until they walked outside, and he was like, well, he shot it. You guys dress it. He's done. So, yeah, it does happen.
Awesome.
There you have it.
That's his favorite hunting story.
So if you ever go hunting in Michigan, make sure you're in the kitchen at a table
Just
with
make
your
sure you
gun
carry your rifle
and-
with you
and
in the
shoot.
cabin.
and shoot out the window.
Hang on, let's specify.
Talk
it's
about
only
hunting
legal
and
to hunt
comfort.
200 yards away from a building. It's just so no one's getting in trouble there. I'm
So
sure
the-
the
so the
limitations
animal-
have ran out on that 6-point, but
Yeah, he
Well,
did that
so-
shit in
so-
1951. So, I
The
mean,
deer has to be within 200 yards of the building for you to shoot it.
yeah, you have to lure it into your kitchen, and then you see that's the problem, right?
not
He
into the
shot from
kitchen.
the kitchen to the outside. You have to wait
Yeah.
for the deer comes inside, and then you can shoot it.
All right, we got
That
one
sounds like
more.
castle doctrine there.
Yeah, we got
It
one
was
more
coming right
question
for me.
from Green Camo, and his question is, what is the top 3 best self-defense rounds and top 3 plinking rounds in 9mm?
Okay, are we talking
Critical
just
duty or defense or whatever.
Brand wise.
Korban?
He's asking brand wise.
Brand wise. Korban,
Hornady.
freaking Hornady,
Hornady, Gold Dot.
and
Federal,
I missed the question.
HST,
the Winchester.
and then planking round.
Wait, hold on. Freaking Winchester.
Let's each
SXTs
answer
or
one at a
Golden
time
Rangers are
here.
pretty good.
What was the
Why don't we
question?
answer one person at a time? All right.
All right. Go,
All right.
Foos.
Go, Foos.
HST, anything Hornady. That's Federal HST. Anything Hornady. I haven't shown any Corbon, but I think that's good. And then planking rounds. Shit. I mean, really anything. Anything 115 grain for mine. If you're reloading, make up your own. I mean, just go out and get a coated bullet and go.
All right, Heavy B, what's your answer?
So for defensive round for 9mm, why anybody would want to use that for defensive round, I don't know. But
Because we could have capacity.
Anyway,
for people who can't shoot, I guess. Anyway, so I'm gonna be. I'm gonna say the like Winchester for like the SXTs, Black Talons.
if you can
Well,
get
not really the Black Talons, but the SXTs definitely. The Rangers, the Golden Rangers. There's like you generally a law enforcement brand.
Ranger T's, yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, or Hornady or Korban. So the Winchester's Hornady or Korban for defense. For plinking, since we're buying it, I would say CCI Lawman, PMC, or Blazer Brass, which is also by CCI. So
Sean.
All right, so I'm assuming the question, since I missed it, was our preferences for self-defense and plinking rounds, yeah? For 9mm?
Absolutely.
Yeah, brand wise.
All right, so 9mm. I like Spear Gold Dots. I also like Lehigh Controlled Chaos because they're just nasty. For plinking rounds, since I hand load, for cast bullets, I go to a place called Matt's Bullets. And for powder-coated bullets, I use Swamp Poppers. And for Full Metal Jackets, I like Rainier Ballistics. They're, plated bullets. They're cheap. They work. They're pretty accurate. So I guess that would be my choices. And yes, I do carry Hornadies too. It's just I didn't want to repeat, other answers.
oh, by the way, if Korban they used to use gold dots for their bullets.
Before they went to
Like
Powerball, right?
yeah. Well, I still think some of their jagged hollow points are still gold dot, but
They use some golden sabers too, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure on that. But I do
They're
like
decent.
the Golden Saber as well. Anyway, next. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to jump in. I mean, as far as the self-defense, I think you guys you named the big ones that I know. I just kind of grab whatever's around type of thing. But for plinking, Freedom Munitions,
Oh yeah,
you can't go wrong with that price. Again, excluding reloading, you're getting a box of 50 for like 9 something.
totally. Matter of fact,
Yeah,
I buy
remanufactured
Freedoms
stuff.
just for the brass. Like I'll buy them loaded, and then I'll keep the brass. Like I go buy their 44 Magnum all the time.
Yeah, and I have to say I've tried out their new American Steel or whatever, where it's a steel case, but then they like brass wash it, so it kind of looks like regular brass. It's supposed to help with feeding or whatever. And I've only shot 1 box of it, but it worked fine. And it's like new ammunition, but it's cheaper than their reload stuff. It's just kind of annoying that you can't then reuse the steel.
All
But
right,
that's an option if you're looking for something cheap also.
Awesome.
Two Hotties' turn.
Yep. Too Hottie, what's your top 3 brand of self-defense and top 3 plinking?
Well, anything I'm going to say right now has already been said. I got top 2 for 9mm self-defense. I would say, just based on what I'm carrying, Spear Gold Dot,
Nice.
147 grain, and one of the Hornady offerings. when it comes to plinking, man, whatever's cheap. I haven't had a problem with American Eagle, Fiocchi, Megtech, anything like that. And reload, like the other guys have been saying.
All right. And
let's not forget Sierra and Ballot, if you can afford it.
right.
So
And then there's
nobody
me.
went for G2 RIP.
No,
That's
no one
because
did.
it's like a funky, weird ass bullet.
All right, and
It's
then
a
there's
gimmick.
there's me. I don't carry, but I do open carry on my land when I can.
Tell the
so
people why you don't carry.
I'm not going to, and we're not going to go over it. You shut the hell up. You shut the hell up, Mister. I'm not going to be there. A second time.
So why don't you carry Night Strike?
I just don't. I prefer not to because I usually just throw it in my glove box anyways.
Oh, that's what it is.
I'm usually always in my car anyways when I'm away from home.
Okay, people sending in questions for the show, ask Night Strike why he doesn't have a CCW.
All right. Anyways,
Anyways,
At least my excuse is I live in California.
I as far as ammunition for self-defense, I go with whatever's cheapest, and I get my ammo. I check Wiki Arms for my ammo a lot, and I check,
Ammo
it's
Seek.
not cheaper than dirt, but it's slick guns. I also check them for whatever is cheapest for self-defense or whatever. But I
you
do
at least
like.
still use like the big name brands. Like you don't use Jim Bob's Hollow Points or whatever, right? I mean,
No. I mean, I usually go if I can find Hornady, a deal on Hornady, I'll go with Hornady. But even if I can get some,
Hey,
this is bad. But even
check
if I
the
can get some steel-cased hollow points, I will totally get some.
check the gun channel's questions.
Okay. Also, just a quick
But-
one. A lot of
but
people
for
we have
Plinkin-
not touched on. What we have
Let me go for Plinkin, okay? Because
Go
I
ahead.
do plink a lot. So I usually go with some of the steel case Tula or Wolf for plinking, but I also go if I need to use brass, I mean I'll use Brass Max or I'll use Fiocchi, whatever's on sale, of course. But I do also still use Federal for plinking as well, just because of the factor that if you buy it in bulk, it's not as expensive,
Sure,
as opposed to buying one box at a time.
sure.
Just
definitely.
saying.
Can I throw in just one
ahead.
more self-defense round? The 6 hours V Crown is actually a really good performing hollow point. I do not have it in 9mm. I do have it in 40 because I'm a man, and I shoot a man's bullet. So, but the V Crown is a very good performing weapon. It cycles fine even through Glocks, even though it's made by SIG. Yes, I carry SIG ammo in my Glock. It cycles fine. It performs well. It's easy to control, and I'm on target with it very well. So, there you go. And you can generally find it fairly cheap.
All right, so there's that. If there's no other gun-related questions that aren't asking me about my CCW, because I don't have one.
Question about your CCW.
You always like to
Hey.
bring it up and then
I just
poke
like
fun
to
at me.
squirm a little bit.
Well, it's about the last thing we can do, so we can't ask you how your shotgun and your AK's doing because you finally got both of those.
Oh,
I've been using them.
Hey, wait. But how is that AK running for you?
Oh, I don't know. It's it's running, but it's not running perfectly because I had a malfunction the other day.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, failure to feed.
What?
Were you using steel case again?
No, you know what it was? It was I was trying to use the wrong magazine for the rifle.
I knew that.
That could do it. Yeah.
Because remember, when you buy a rifle from Fuchs, make sure you read the magazine to see what caliber it's in. Because
I love that
I
story.
took it out of the box, tried to put it in the
You
rifle.
little fucker.
That's a great one.
That is awesome.
And he sent me a 5.45 instead of a 7.62 by 39. That bastard.
Square peg does not fit in round hole.
Yeah, but okay, you sent me that Kratko 5.45 mag back, and what did I send you?
I will give you that. You did send me, a surplus mag, and I do
There you
appreciate it.
go.
For a 5.45, right?
No, for 7.62 by
And strangely enough,
I
it
would've
feeds perfectly fine.
it's perfectly fine now. So
No.
If I would have thought about it, I totally would have sent another 5.45 your way, and then like a couple days later, send a steal one.
You
That'd
know,
be
I
fucking
just send him the
hilarious.
right one, but put
I
a
would've-
sticker on it that said 545.
I would have sent it back. But you know what? I won't make the same mistake about sending Smeggy anything. I'll tell you that. You know, he says,
Why?
"All right, I'll send you a trigger." I needed a trigger for an AR-15 because I just built one, and nope. He still hasn't sent it to me, by the way. And I gave him my address.
Nice.
Well, he
All
might
right.
have decided to use that trigger to build another AR.
I like Core's reason why you don't have the CHL. That's a great one.
Which one? What did he say?
He doesn't want the government to steal his organs.
Exactly. Right there. That is the reason why.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why all these people are dying on the Clinton hit list is they're just organ donors.
Well, she's clearly not receiving the lungs.
No, of course not.
No, she's
but
selling
Well, no,
the
she
highest
just-
bidder on the black market.
She just keeps killing people with fucked up lungs. That's all.
All right, guys. I think it's time to call it. So
We have made the hour.
we have
Why?
made the hour.
Why call it? Why?
Well,
Why?
because I got to get some sleep.
Let's
what?
talk about what's coming up this week then.
Okay, what's coming up this week?
We have tomorrow's Daily Gun Show, which comes on at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can be the tactical quiz hot shot of the day and take on me and Matt. Try to
yeah,
beat
you
us.
win every freaking day.
Hey,
I
nice
went
try.
today.
Don't look now. Don't look now. But Smeggy's showing you the trigger you don't have.
Yeah, I know.
Thursday,
I know. I
Yankee
will
will
never
have
say
his,
that again.
shooting left to center. And Friday we'll have heavy
Friday
duty
night
Friday
sights.
sights.
Friday night sights.
That's right.
Saturday, Matt will be running his chatting in, and then Sunday's reloading.
Yeah, what are we going to talk about
Uh,
on Sunday?
Sunday, swaging 22 rimfire brass into jackets and making 55 grain hollow points.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, before we wrap it up and, kill it, I do want to mention something on a kind of morbid note. You guys know Rick, Big Gunner 81, right?
Yes.
Last night, this has been going on for about a week or so, I think he said, maybe longer. But his father's been in a hospice because his father hasn't been doing too well. And last night, his father died. So if everyone could, if you can either message him on gun channels or via his email if you have it or on Facebook, be sure to go and give him your best wishes and whatnot because, it's really tough to lose a family member you're very close to, especially when it's someone like your grandparents or your parents. So just, tell them to hang in there because it's rough to lose a loved one. All right. And, my prayers go out to him and his family. And I don't say this often, but, I don't know what I would do in his situation, and I feel for him. So I just wanted to mention that, and I know it's not a happy note, but it needs to be said because he's not doing his show. He's not doing his show tonight because of it, because he is so torn up about it. So, I just figured I would mention it so people know to, tell him that things will get better eventually. But, when life hits you, it hits you all at once,
And on that noble note,
Yeah, that's a bummer, man.
I know it was bumper. And on that
Thoughts and
note,
prayers go out to him.
on that note, this was Hit or Miss.